primary focus is not about the resource, it's about the money. So, and if that was the case, we would be as efficient as possible. So, let me challenge every one of you out there. And not John Devney, not Frank Rohr, not anybody with Ducks Unlimited, or damn sure not going to, but account for every dollar that all waterfowl hunters have given for their duck stamp dollars, to banquets, to Delta banquets, to DU banquets, for conservation. Account for me in the prairie potholes in Prairie Canada. Account for me where every dollar was spent. I want to see every acre that was conserved, restored. I want to see the breakdown per dollar. I don't want a generalization. I don't want to know that for every dollar that Louisiana has sent for the past 30 years has been spent in this particular region of Saskatchewan and conserved this numbers of acres. That's not what I want. What I want to know is the specific acres, the longitude and latitude, the tracks, the legal tracks. I want to see all of
The
those.
lease agreement. Yeah.
And
The
all
deeds.
of you,
Gotcha.
all of you out there that's watching. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. That's fine. But I would challenge you to ask that question. Ask the question that you want to see specifically every single year, all of the dollars that have been spent, specifically where they have been spent. You're not going to get it. It's not going to be.
Duke,
There
whenever
was
you
a,
posed that question, didn't you pose that question, that exact same question, and not only at a wildlife and fisheries meeting or commission meeting
it,
a long time
it
ago,
was,
you posed it again at another one, and then at the natural resources committee meeting. And I don't think it's been produced yet. And we're talking about what, a 20-year span you trying to get documents?
I did pose that question at multiple meetings, but I did not pose the original question. There was a Wildlife and Fisheries Commission member. I don't remember the year. Maybe it was 2004 or maybe before. It may have been Robert Helm. I don't remember. But there was a commissioner who was a former state president of Ducks Unlimited, and he posed the question at a Wildlife and Fisheries Commission meeting that he wanted an accounting of every dollar that had ever been spent by Louisiana and given to Ducks Unlimited at that point and spent for waterfowl conservation. Now, to my knowledge, that was never presented. Generalized, you know, expenditures was presented, but the detailed information that's never been publicly disclosed. It's not out there, and I challenge any of you. I would love to see it. If somebody has it, by all means, present it, and we will put it up for God and everybody to see. And I'm not going to say his name, but the pool boy, if the pool boy wants to talk to his friends and get them to produce it, we will put it out there and we will say, you know what? They presented it and it is out there for public consumption. But it's not to my knowledge. And unfortunately, that commissioner, he had a heart attack and he passed away shortly after that meeting. And I think that it just kind of got left by the wayside. But there is not an accounting for all that money. If Elon Musk wanted to dive into any Doge type thing and find some stuff, I think he would find a gold mine going digging after that.
Yeah.
So, it, given that, from the perspective of me, we keep pouring money. I mean, I saw a list of all these banquets across Louisiana just for Delta Waterfowl, and Ducks Unlimited do the same, and they're saying more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. But do any of you ever ask for an accounting? I mean, these guys that are against what we're saying, they go out here and they accuse us of stealing stuff. You specifically, Josh, of using for a pool with no evidence. Okay, that thing goes two ways. except what I'm asking for, it's a guaranteed. We spent money on our duck stamps. We gave money at these banquets. Show us you got matching federal tax dollars. Where did it go? Specifically the acreage. Put it out there for the public. We want to see it. But
Yeah.
you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
So look, I lived through. I mean, let's keep playing the video because I think he goes on and he starts talking about. Play the video, Rex.
In North Dakota. That's a huge accomplishment. But one of the ones that makes the most impact on duck hunters is knowing that duck populations are driven by what happens on the breeding ground. The 3 month breeding season is the driver of ducks, and folks knew that long ago. I remember talking with the carpenter at Delta Waterfowl in the 70s, and he said, just look at the fluctuations in the numbers, and it completely matches whether the prairies are wet or dry. And so that's a great thing. So we now don't restrict you down to 3 and 30. And there are a whole lot of duck hunters that have never lived in a 3 and 30 duck season. And I remember moving to Louisiana. Ugh,
Wait a minute.
three
Wait a
ducks
minute.
in 30
What?
days is all I get to
Stop
hunt
it.
duck.
Look, I lived through the 3 and 30 duck season and the points. I remember that. I lived through it. But you know what these jackwackons are not doing, Josh? Do you know what it is? They're not living
What's
through
that, dude?
they're not living through 60 days and 3 ducks for the whole freaking season. No, y'all are up there in North Dakota and you're not living through it. Frank, come hunt with me. Come hunt with me in 140 acres of Milo, completely fertilized, prime stuff. And the best thing you can get is a freaking mosquito. Why is that, Frank? Why is that? I mean, if all we have to do is plant it, we don't have the habitat, we don't have the food, and all you guys. Why is that? Duck Hunters
And
Organization, my ass.
past 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 few days, there's been certain guys saying, "Oh well, y'all just need to do it down there. It'll fix the problem." No, it won't fix it. One guy, it was so funny. He commented. He was like, "What you want us to do? Plant it for the crows?" Like, and it is true. Like if you can do all that you want down here, like look at your place. I mean, your place is crawfish ponds, but you have a prime habitat and you are doing exactly what they are trying to tell us all to do, which a lot of us don't have that benefit. We hunt below I-10, so therefore you're not going in the marsh and planting nothing. That
No,
that's not happening.
I am on the Louisiana Arkansas line, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas. I'm in the panhandle up here in the corner. I'm getting the benefit of Mississippi and Central Flyway birds, and I have a flooded field with Milo, and nothing comes to it because there's no birds. I, I mean, don't tell me a
what
damn
came
thing about
what came to that
habitat loss.
what came to that same field prior to 2002? I'd like to know. I don't think you've
It
ever even told me.
It was clouds. I can recall good friend of mine that just recently passed this week. He was one of the guys that originally founded. And John Devney, I don't give a crap what y'all think. Y'all know it's true and whatever. And you want to challenge me, I'll pull out the credits that you gave me back then. But Rusty Lombardino, good friend of mine, we helped found the Northwest chapter of Delta Waterfowl. We grew it, and then I think it was in my final year, it was the highest gross net attendance chapter in Delta Waterfowl history and all. And, you know, I used to take him up here and he wouldn't want to shoot, but all he would want to do was just watch the clouds because you could look across the horizon. It would be like you were in the prairies in North Dakota. You could look from as far as you could see to the left and as far as you could see to the right of waterfowl coming off the river coming into my fields. That was prior to 98. That was prior to the amendments in the Farm Bill, and it steady degraded to the point now to where I don't even get up and go. It's not worth going. It's not worth. And you know what I hate it the most is when I see these greedy bastards up there in the mid continent. You know, y'all are so full of yourself up there. And you don't think about the kids that you're cutting out. You cut my kid out of a legacy. It's personal to me. You cut them out. And waterfowl management, John Debney, that's y'all too. And you know why it's y'all? Because you've thrown in with them. That's the God's honest truth. And I take issue with that. And I'm almost ashamed that I helped you.